Welcome back, Brother Rafik.
Thank you.
Rafik Ahmad.
Shukran. Barakallah.
Now, in the previous episode, you told me how it took you 3 months
About 3 months. Yes.
to get to Swaziland, but then by the time you got there, your friend who invited you had already
He was
left
gone.
for America.
Yes. He was going the next week. I came there after the weekend, something like that. Next week he was leaving.
Now,
with his wife.
I'm interested in how you became an Arabic speaker and also learned in Islam. What happened? What was the process?
You see, I started in Morocco, and of course it was learning Arabic and the basics.
At Ma'had al-Qarawiyyin.
Yeah,
you told me about
fiqh and the seerah and so on. So after that, in West Africa, I used to meet some. Sometimes I go to the mosque and stay there and ask them if I can just sleep there and so on. And but I didn't really meet this except this Ahmadiyya scholar. So I thought, no, I had to finish with that. And through the travel, I didn't really have opportunity to study. It was also all practical learning.
Yes.
Hardships, tests. So then in Swaziland, also there was very small little mosque was there. But they were local people and they were also just learning themselves.
Yes.
Then when I came to, he left, I went to, the nearest was Natal, Durban. That time the Didat.
Oh, Ahmad Didat. Yes.
I never met him because he was outside Durban.
Yes.
Somewhere. But his colleague, Wanker, he was having a shop on top of the big mosque in Durban. You know, the way they have this old time, the shops on top and they have the mosque there. So I was meeting this. Then I started again taking part in these circles they had. And while I was there, I met this Amir of Jamaat Tabligh.
He was visiting.
Baipadia. His name is Baipadia. He is a very special man. He was a millionaire. He's a businessman, millionaire. He was Amir of the Jamaat Tabligh, and he go himself, sleep in the mosque and eat in the mosque. He's very special. He's a sort of holy man, this guy. So he talked to me. I said, and there was another scholar also from, the 2nd century in India, Delhi, and you have in the northeast. What's this place called again? You have also a university there. There was a professor there.
Nadwa? The Nadwa?
Yeah, Nadwa.
Nadwa.
Yeah.
Where the Nadwi is from.
Nadwi. So he was also there in the teaching in the mosque. And I went with them, but it's all Urdu. And I was just starting learning Arabic. What does that do with Urdu? So then again I met this, I was with Jamaat Tabligh in the mosque. And there was a Jamaat that come from Cape Town. And who was Amir of the Jamaat? He was one of the guys who planted the bomb at the City Hall in Cape Town.
Oh.
And I knew him. He was active against apartheid, but I never used any weapons or bomb or whatever. But he was doing, he was the one, and I knew about him. And he was Amir of Jamaat Tabligh, you know. So I thought, well, this Jamaat Tabligh is okay. So I started.
So you joined them?
Joined them the first time, 1 day, 1 week. And then after that, I think 40 days.
40 days, yeah.
We went to Zambia. That time is Rhodesia.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique. The other place, what's it called? Malawi. That is a real practical school, you know.
You learn and you do da'wah.
Yeah. You learn. I don't know how to do da'wah. I've just become Muslim myself, but sometimes they ask me to speak. One time they asked me to speak in Mozambique. And I saw some of the Jamaat was wearing a soldier uniform. So I was talking, I said, how can you be Muslim? You're fighting the Muslims. This is a Portuguese uniform. It's the colonial time. And most of the opposition or the fight, against the Portuguese in the north were Muslims. I said, how can you be? And and of course, the Tabligh, after they never asked me to speak because you're not supposed to mix politics with
So you left them.
Dawah. So later on, I left. I left them later on. So, but it's a good school, a practical school, mashallah. I never about this Hayat Sahaba and getting up at night to pray. No, nobody told me that. Tahajjud, whatever, all these things. I never knew anything about it. So I went with them and it's some very wonderful experiences. And
how long did you stay with them?
Maybe a couple of months. Just a couple of months, not even half a year. And then I got a job. I got a job at one of the Indian shops in South Africa. Because that time I went to South Africa. I was in South Africa from Durban. We went all over. And I never had any, if anybody asked me, what are you doing? What are you going to this African township? I said, what do you mean? And then they said, I'm a Muslim. So they thought I was Indian or something, The Indians sometimes are very light.
Yes, some
but
of them.
They shut up. And once I tested them in South Africa, Springs. No, it was near Johannesburg. In the suburb of Johannesburg. So the train, the metro, is coming. So I see two cops, one white, one black. They're patrolling there. So let me ask them a question. So it looks, excuse me, gentlemen. Now then the train is coming. That was European and non-European, white, non-white. Which one? I'm a Muslim. Which one am I supposed to go? So they look at each other. What's this guy? What's he talking about? And he looks like a European is a Muslim. They couldn't imagine.
They couldn't grasp it.
They couldn't. So they said, okay, weet je wat? You know what? If the train comes, you can go there, you can go there. No matter. So that time, Masha, I thought, that in a way I felt I had conquered the apartheid through Islam,
Now, when did you then go to Saudi Arabia, to Medina?
Now, after that, I got a job as one of the Indians near Johannesburg. That is all the business, a lot of business in the hands of the Indians. And one of them, he promised me I must make Hajj for his mother.
Oh, he wanted you to do Hajj for his mother?
For his mother.
But you hadn't done Hajj for yourself.
I didn't know much about it. I had not studied that much, only, So I thought I was staying with a sort of near a mosque. He was a second imam or something. And he, they also, many of them are opportunists. So he didn't tell me. He said, okay, you just go for Hajj, whatever. If you're there, he can take you another Hajj, never mind.
So he paid you to go to Hajj?
He's supposed to pay me.
Oh, he didn't pay.
Now what happened during Ramadan, I think it wasn't, maybe Ramadan, that I went to some African township. There was one boxer, he had become Muslim. So we go do dawah there. Not the tabligh, just traditional people. We talk a real dawah to the African people. And some of the Indians said, Rafik is going there looking for girls. But that's what they're doing. It's what they said. They themselves, the Indian youngsters, they go, this African girls, they go and, just have some sex with the African girls. So they accused me of that. And then the other businessman, he said, no, I just changed my mind. So I thought, what can we do? I had already made the intention to go for Hajj,
Oh.
but I didn't have much money. You know, I didn't have saved enough of something. So I just was some business, some tourist, what do you call it, agency.
Mm.
He did also Hajj business. So I went to him. He said, "Oh, can you just come to the airport? I see what I can do for you." So I went there and I see all the Hajjis coming, and then he's taking off, and I saw 3 places left. So maybe I have a chance. He said, "What is 3 places?" No, it's for him, his wife, and his daughter. So I was frustrated. And when we walked to the exit, that there was the Malay, that these were Indian.
Mm.
And then the Malay Muslims, the group of them, said, "What's happened? What's wrong?" He said, "Well, I was supposed to go to Hajj. This guy's supposed to help me." And he put his wife and his daughter there. So he said, "Wait a minute, we give you address. You come tonight and we see what we can do for you."
Oh, subhanallah.
They're generous people. So I went there the evening. They said, "We talked to Jamaat and we will get you ticket." Never mind. So when we got to Jeddah, that time the airport was a little bit near town, you know. And this Mutawaf, we come there. Mutawaf is actually from Thailand.
Mm.
Fatani.
Batani.
Batani, you know. Fatani, they say Fatani. Batani, he says he's married. You know, that's one of the girls, South African, when he was a Mutawaf there, fall in love and they married. So his wife is South African. So he said, "What is this guy from Holland?" They said, "Well, you don't know. He just come with us." And so he said, "Okay." He gave me a little job. I can on top of you know, Safa and Marwa.
Yes.
Just beginning of Marwa, the first one. Now they abolished all those old buildings. The first one was his hotel.
Oh, so he gave you a job in that
He
hotel?
said, "You just check the water on top, you know, the water, what you call the basin. You have to just check it and then say that they fill it in time and so on." So you can do. So I go all the time and I go and just go down, Marwa, go down night and day to
Carrying water.
Sai. I never did any job there. Now and then I do something, but there's nothing really. He just do to help me, formal.
Mm.
But I didn't, you know, he also somehow he fixed the Iqama or something. I don't know what he done,
Yes.
how he did it, but he's Mutawaf, so he can do. So I was staying with the Jamaat there and doing a little job and then going to Safa and Marwa. And I hardly knew Arabic, but learning those du'as and so on. I was also helping those Hajjis to do the dua because I had studied a little bit Arabic. And then, during that time, after Hajj, after Hajj, I met some students from Europe, European Muslims, converts. And they're studying in Islamic University in Medina.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember the place we used to meet. You know, now if you look at Mecca live, you see the place where now the Imam is standing. That is the last bit of the Ottoman building. There on the corner, we used to sit there. That was a meeting place for foreign students.
Mm.
And they told me, "You look, Rafik, you come to Medina, it's very easy. They give a scholarship to European students, European Muslims, very easy." There were a couple of them, German, you know. So after the Hajj,
You went to Medina?
yeah, you know, Abdulaziz bin Baz, he was still the director of the Islamic University at that time. This is 72, end of 72. So I went to his place. They said, "Wait, that old of Rabita, that was the old palace of Abdulaziz. The Arabita used to be there."
Yes.
And they told me there's just this little street across. You go there, that is his place. When he is in Mecca, he stayed there. So I went there. You know, the most amazing thing, everybody is sitting on the ground, and he was sitting on the ground. He's director. And to me, with that mentality, European mentality, I was surprised. And then when Doha, we go all pray together, little mosque there. After that, everybody invited on the sufra, on the ground we're eating. He's all sitting with us. So I thought, this is a good sign, you know. So after that, when it's my turn, I talked to him. I said, so and so, I got from South Africa. We have no South Africa. There was no diplomatic relationship. And
Yes.
That's why anybody could just go for Hajj. And then I said I would like to have, you know, the time they're checking on the way, so I must get a pass to go through to Medina. So I tell the secretary, just give him a little glass. And then every time you give him a little letter, and then every time they stopped, they said, Sheikh Ben Baz. And after that, he became Mufti. After that year after that. But you know, he was blind, of course.
Yes, of course.
But he was a Salafi, but still he was very generous. Very. Did
you get the scholarship?
Yeah, I got scholarship.
And you studied there?
So he told me, look, you have to go back to Holland, to the consulate in Holland to get your visa. And I told him, Sheikh, I've just had all this trouble since I became a Muslim. That is years now. I have never been to Holland. So he said, okay, then what you do, you go to Amman. We sent it to Amman. You just go to Amman, but because you have to go out. You are here on Hajj visa, you can come back to with a
student visa.
Yeah. So I went to Amman.
In Jordan.
In the state, of course, with Jamaat Tabligh there. And then I got a visa, came back to study. And then that was in beginning of 73.
Oh, how many years did you study there?
Up to summer 77. So
and you got the degree?
No.
No.
You know, this happened. So that time they had 1 year for pre-academic, for foreign, non-Arab.
Study Arabic.
Yeah, Ajami. For
the Ajam.
Ajam, yeah. So after that, they added 1 other year. Because I went to Dawa. The Germans, they are business mind. They said, you must go to the Dawa, Kulia, in the faculty, that you can get more, Just at the Mahad, you get only 250, and there you get 400 a month.
If you do Dawah?
Real? No, just studying for the scholarship. So I went there, and it is my mistake. I should have gone to the secondary. You get very good training for basic, for all the subjects. But I went to the Dawah, and then after that, they put another year for the pre-academic, the Mahad, and then so I did 2 years there, the Mahad, and the second year in the Kulit Dawah, it was Mukarrar, was prescribed the Kitab al-Tawheed, and the teacher was Murad, for Indian, Ustaz Murad.
Kitab al-Tawheed by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab?
طبعا. That is so. And then he's teaching, and he gave us 70 questions, and something 70. And he said, this is a question and answer. If you answer that, you pass. If not, so there was a question about Al-Ali, the name of Allah. And I already in the class, I had said that it's not right. The Aqidah here is not right. We cannot.
Oh, you protested?
I protested. I said, and then in the exam also, I answered the wrong way, because we cannot fix Allah by any time or place. And Ali is up. I said, up here, up here for Australia is down. I told them also.
They got angry with you?
Yeah. So I said, and then in the break, in the holidays, school holidays, I had been to Holland, because now I was older than 30. I could just be there. And then I registered in Leiden and I got a scholarship in Leiden.
Oh, so you couldn't continue studying in Medina, so you went and started studying in Leiden.
Yeah, I could continue, but I couldn't because I failed this subject.
They failed you.
They failed me. And then better I go.
Although you spent 3 years. You said from 73 to 77?
Yeah.
3 years in Medina?
4.5.
4.5?
Yes,
Wow.
because 2 years in the pre-academic, the Mahad, then 1 year in the first year of Dawah, the second year of Dawah. After the second year I didn't pass, then
you went to Leiden.
So I went to Leiden. I said, well, look, if I have to learn the theory, Islamic science from the books, then I can go to Leiden because they got a good library.
Yeah. So you did take a degree from Leiden?
Leiden, yes, master. But that time, later on they changed.
Oh, you did master in Leiden?
Master, yes. So because I said the bachelor was not very simple. And then that time from Koningsveld came to be teacher for in the theology, Islam in Europe or something like that. But before, that they used to do in Europe, you probably know that they put a study of Islam under they got Eastern languages, and they got Semitic language, and then they come to Arabic. They put Islam under Arabic. And they call it Lugha.
So it's a branch of Lugha.
Yeah. That's how they used to do it.
Now, do you remember some of the prominent figures in Medina when you were a student there?
Sheikh Bambaz, of course, he went to Riyadh, became Mufti, and Mohsin Abad, he was the Kuliya. I told this Mohsin Abad, he was also one eye a little bit, I don't know, he's a funny man, he was, he said, and I said, look, I got married, but in the meantime, in the summer, I went to Cairo, I got married to my...
Oh, when you were a student in Medina, you got married.
And that was co-mate in the room. They had a special place for students near the town, and a student house. And then he was Egyptian, also a bit older, and he was what you call that for his cousin. What do you call that? He was taking care of and then I married his cousin, in the holiday. So when I came back, I said, look, I got married. I need to pay help for the rent. Now, he said, no. He said, you can just go, you can take it to Holland. She said, my parents don't know. How can I? No. He said, okay, you can go to Egypt. Said, no, look, you're telling that Egypt is a facade, place of facade. How can I go there then? In the holidays. How can I go? So he told me, okay, never mind. And I wrote a letter. I said, this is the FAQ. I told him straight away. And he put a letter under in the desk there somewhere. So later on...
You were telling people to their faces what you believed.
Yeah, I really told him. I said, look, you're telling me to do this and that, and then you tell always they talk about Omar. Omar, he was asking his wife, how long can he stay away from his wife?
Yeah.
So you tell me to leave my wife in Egypt, and then you are telling, for so many months, but this Omar, who was in Sahaba, his wife is saying, like 3 months or something.
4 months.
4 months?
He asked his daughter.
So we must be actually more strong than the Sahaba. What is it?
Now you married your second wife. She is an Egyptian.
Yeah.
And did you have children from her?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
5.
5, mashallah. And they are all here living in the Netherlands?
Yeah, but they're doing their own thing, They grew up here, free school. Free schools. We choose for Rudolf Steiner. You know the Rudolf Steiner school in Germany, Austria. It's a special system. And then it's not free. They're not like Montessori, but they're free from government control. So we sent the children there, and we thought we can teach them ourselves. But Allah knows best.
Well, Brother Rafik, it's really been a great pleasure talking to you. A very, very interesting journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jazakallah khair.
Ayakum Allah.